Hey, kids, how would you like to hear this on the screen instead of the great show you came to see? That's what you sound like. Honest. Please cooperate and do your part in keeping this theater quiet so everyone, including you, can enjoy it.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's do it.
We getting good vibes up in here?
Oh, just kidding. Perfect.
Where you at, man? Where's that energy, bro?
Couldn't write this, dude. Couldn't write this.
Yeah, you know what we said about 2 minutes ago about your webcam acting up, Adam?
Is it doing it already?
It's acting up already.
We're there. We got a great frozen thumbnail of you, though. Leaning up real close against the computer.
It's not.
Well, I might have to restart, but I'll try to get through this. Time for our daily sermon. I love it.
This is literally the best you've ever looked. This blurry thumbnail. Look at you. You look so youthful.
The lighting is actually pretty good.
I'm going to have to introduce you and then hand it off so I can restart or something. But welcome in, everybody. DNVR Nuggets podcast, the final episode. Is it frozen again?
It's just keep talking. This is
just do a show like this. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Crap.
BSN McBride checking in.
This is the final episode of the offseason, guys. When we come back, like I said, it'll be the on-season. Will be time to go. But we're going to send you off into your holiday weekend, extended weekend, with a little bit of fun, a little bit of intrigue, as we talk about the most intriguing storylines of the Denver Nuggets training camp, which starts a week from today, next Wednesday. I'm joined by Brendan Vogt.
What's up, fellas? Feeling grateful. Feeling ready to rank some Thanksgiving food without Adam, who was sure to tank that segment. So, ready to go.
RTG, baby. RTG.
All right, Adam, you're going to have to restart. I'll just take over.
Take over.
Below me, now to my left, it's Harrison Wind, the man with the wind in his hair.
Yeah, so you guys informed me that we're not doing a show on Friday. I'm going to call you guys soft for taking Friday off. You guys are soft for taking a holiday. I was ready to come back after Turkey Day, power through a Friday show, but apparently we're actually taking a holiday here.
I was pretty sure we were going to have to work through the whole week. I had no idea we were taking time.
I want to work. I don't take holidays.
I will do a show tomorrow in just us. Below me, it's D-Line Co., also known as Eric. You probably know him as D-Line Co. Eric, what's up?
Am I especially not invited to that tomorrow show? I'm like,
well, do you want to come? Are you going to celebrate?
I don't know. I felt like. Well, I just felt like I was being especially excluded. You guys are making plans literally right in front of my face. It's embarrassing.
Come on. When Mislav's not here, yeah, you're the highlight of the
well, like, I mean, the thing is, like, what are any of us doing? I don't know if you noticed this, but we're in my home right now. I'm steps from my bed. I'm steps from my refrigerator. Where am I going? Like, I can't get online for an hour and talk about the Nuggets? I could do it.
Thanksgiving, overrated, underrated, properly rated? Wind?
I'd say properly rated. This is like an ultra me take, I feel like.
Yeah,
I'd say it's properly
right
rated.
down the middle.
Yeah. As we'll get to, and I hope we get to this in the latter part of the show, Turkey has... There's been so much vitriol thrown Turkey's way. Turkey is now becoming underrated. Just with the hate that's been just thrown at it these last couple of weeks. It's now underrated.
What the F, man? Turkey, like, this has been... I mean, yeah, you're right. This is an attack on Turkey. Like, Turkey is under full great attack. I don't know. I like turkey. Tastes good.
If you don't have turkey... stay with me on this. If you don't have turkey, you don't have a central food for Thanksgiving. You just have a bunch of side dishes. You need turkey as your anchor. Yeah.
No defensive anchor. It's true. Like, who is bringing the meal up the court? Like, stuffing? Are you leading with stuffing? I mean, we all love stuffing, but come on, bro. Like, you need that defensive anchor.
No, it's true. And, like, looking at all these... We're going to do, if you guys haven't figured out, at one point we will do a Thanksgiving food draft in this episode. And I've been looking around at all the other Thanksgiving food drafts going around media, and I've noticed that problem. Everyone's getting cute with the skipping the turkey pick, but you have three sides, bro.
Dude.
You need a main course on Thanksgiving.
Dude. Yeah. Thanks for giving us a little insight into your strategy, by the way. I can't wait to take you down.
Yeah.
This is the kind of draft. I don't know the draft order yet. I know Guy behind the scenes knows it. I don't know it. I don't think anybody wants the first pick in this draft.
It's tough. It's a lot like the 2020 NBA draft.
Nobody wants the number one pick here.
Is Adam restarting his entire computer? Because I don't know if I have that much. If I have that much in me here.
Well, should we just get into it? We're going to hit on a lot tonight. We're going to hit on RJ Hampton. He spoke with the media yesterday for really the first time as a Denver Nugget because that trade really just went through over these last couple of days. So we got to talk about RJ Hampton, what our impressions were from that. What's up, Guy?
I have some clips from that interview if you'd like me to play them.
Oh,
that seems
yeah. Let's see some clips.
I would say that seems prescient.
Tread water for a couple seconds and I'll
yeah.
Oh wait, so did he come on to say that he has them when in fact he doesn't have them? He just knows where they are.
I have them. It takes a minute to get them prepared. Thank you.
In the meantime, Russell. We do notice you. Hello. Nicholas Biscuit says, Thanksgiving never has so much mediocre food required so much work. That is that's a fair argument.
Adam's like main argument with Thanksgiving food is you don't eat it every day. And it's like, yeah, because you don't want to spend 8 hours making food every day. That's why you don't eat it every day. That's why it's special. Like, you don't want to roast a turkey daily like that. It takes like 10 hours.
That's true. It is a lot of work. All right, Guy, how we doing with those RJ clips? We're ready to talk. We're ready to talk hoops. Let's do it.
Let me just share my screen here.
We'll do it live.
Will we do it live?
Yeah, so RJ Hampton spoke with Denver media on a Zoom yesterday. Here's a little of what he had to say, it looks like.
I mean, it seemed like you were really excited about Denver as the place that you landed at. What is it about the Nuggets organization that made you so excited to get drafted by them?
I think just the culture in which, I was presented to by, Tim Connolly and the people that I had my pre-draft workout for. They said it was a family environment, said a lot of people in the organization took everything super serious. And then, it's a great team. And Denver's a great place to stay, live. Colorado's a great place. So I think it just, all worked out for me. They see real talent. A lot of guys from that 1 through 13 spot, are kind of mad they missed out on Michael Porter Jr. And those guys that, slid on Bol Bol are kind of mad they missed out on him. So it's going to be the same thing with me. I'm going to continue to work hard every day and, show, people that the Nuggets are real talent evaluators and, see what they missed. I'm a guy that can do everything. I can play the 1, the 2, the 3 if needed. So, my value on the court is going to be, what I can produce and what I can do, that day or for what the team needs. So, only, Jamal and, Monte and, PJ, or they're all going to make me better. I always say my biggest skill is versatility. My biggest skill is to be able to do everything. I can rebound, I can pass, shoot, get to the basket. I feel like I'm one of the fastest people in the NBA. So, like I said, whatever the team needs me to do, I'm confident enough in myself and my abilities that I'm versatile enough to get it done. The emphasis was to become a great three-point shooter. I want to be a high 30s, low 40% three-point shooter in the coming years. So, for 5-6 months, we were in the gym, every single day, getting up shots. I'm coming to a team where, there's superstars, a lot of talent, and I'm going to have to knock down shots to, open up the rest of my game.
Man, how to ingratiate yourself with a fan base 101.
I want to buy his jersey right now. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, tons of confidence. I think tons to take away from those clips. Let's go to you, though, just for first impressions. Anything really stood out to you listening to RJ there?
So if you think back to that first clip that we played, it was our guy TJ McBride opening up with the question.
That's right.
And
BSN TJ.
Yeah, this was honestly my biggest takeaway over the last week about RJ Hampton, because if you remember on draft night, there was that clip that surfaced where he was just so pumped that Denver took him 24. The camera probably got him, I don't know, a minute or two after the selection came through. But he said, quote, "Those guys play together. They're all young. That's the best fit I could have possibly been in." And then he followed that up yesterday, speaking with us and saying, yeah, just the culture made me really want to come to Denver. Colorado's a great place. Denver's a great place to live. I really feel like RJ Hampton wants to be in Denver. And he's got this confidence about him, but I don't think he's too cocky. He knows he's coming into a team like full of a couple superstars, and he's going to have to play a really defined role if he wants to get on the court from day one. But I just feel like he really wants to be here. And to contrast that with Jeremy Grant leaving Denver because he doesn't want to be part of a winning culture and he doesn't want to, play for a winner right now, that's fine. That's his choice. That's his prerogative. But to contrast that with RJ Hampton, who wants to be in that environment, wants to be in that culture from day one, I've got to think the Nuggets love to hear that from him.
Eric, that's how I wanted to frame the question to you, especially from that fan perspective. They take a flyer, a gamble, if you will, on that culture thing. We do right by guys, they want to be here. Doesn't work out with Jeremy Grant. Was it that much more satisfying? Was there something almost tingling in you to then turn around and watch the next new prospect say, no, this is exactly where I want to be?
Yeah, do you want me to tell you exactly what was tingling on me?
Yes. Put it down in my clothes.
Dude, I love it. You never hear, just in general, for some reason, like every football player can't wait to play in Denver and every basketball player can't get further away from Denver. I don't really understand like what it is. But man, like I know for a fact, like, if you love me, I'll love you. I've told you this. This is my approach to dating. This is my approach to friendship. Like, if you're nice, if you are nice to me, like, I'll fall in love with you immediately. I'll do anything for you. So just the notion that even if he's lying to my face, like, I appreciate it. Like, just lie to my face, man. Like, just make me feel excited, and you've won me over. Like, I'm super excited for the RJ Hampton era to begin in Denver. The other main takeaway is that, I don't know if we can bring the clip back up. It almost looks like his hair is connected to the hat that he's putting on. He has it shaved on the sides, and then it's coming out the, like, doesn't that look like that the hair is part of the hat more so than part of his head?
Of course, that's your real takeaway. I like this comment from BSN McBride, whose voice you heard in that clip. Who will be the Debbie Downer to bring up? He might have gotten coached for.
Oh, looks like it was BSN McBride.
Yeah, I'll do it. I think he was coached, but you know what? He nailed it. He said all the right things, and I don't know if he knew this or not. I'm pretty sure that is exactly what Denver fans wanted to hear after everything that just happened. Adam, double pronged question to you here: are you buying the idea that RJ really wants to be here, and what are your big impressions from those clips?
So whether or not a guy wants to be here, we can't know. You're right. These guys
lie to us.
Yeah, but no, I what I would say is that you can tell when a guy doesn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember when Jahlil Okafor was drafted by the 76ers and he had his jersey and he was holding it up and he was like this and then like kind of like tossed it like that. And it was the most like, all right, that guy doesn't want to be here. I think RJ Hampton I don't know him. Like most of these, he's from Dallas. Would he have liked to have been drafted by the Dallas Mavericks? Probably. Would he have liked to have been drafted by the Miami Heat? Probably. I don't know. But he seems excited to be here. I think his scout is good. Like you could tell he's done a little research,
Yes.
So like he knows the team. He's familiar with what the guys are, and I think he has a good mind frame going into it. I'm sure he's been told that this is Denver. It's not a team that desperately, has nothing else to play for except for him. Like this is a team where he is a bit of an afterthought, and he seems to have embraced that.
I love pause Adam. Look at him.
Yeah,
look at him. He's never looked better.
I want to hit the refresh again. There you go.
Don't know what's happening. This is going to be.
This is again like I love the sign of the times that we're really in is that you can really know the true worth of a person by their internet connection and whether or not their microphone works. Like that's the new judging ability.
To Adam's point, I thought this was another standout quote from him. I'm coming into a team where there are superstars, plural. There's a lot of talent, and I'm going to have to knock down shots to open up the rest of my game. Like Adam said, I think he's got a great scout on the Nuggets. He knows what the talent's like on this roster, and I've got to think some of that scout came from Mike Miller, who he worked with in the pre-draft process, and definitely gave him a rundown on what to expect coming to Denver in terms of the players, the coaches, the front office, just the culture. And that's another reason why I think he's so familiar. But he's definitely aware that it's probably going to be like swimming upstream for him to try to get playing time this year. And if he's going to get on the court, he's going to have to do the little things. He's going to have to defend. He's going to have to knock down shots. He's going to have to play a really defined role. So I just think he's got great awareness about the situation he's walking into.
The Mike Miller point is interesting because to TJ's question, was he coached up for this? Or did Mike Miller maybe just talk Denver up as a landing spot to him? And that's possible too. I like Justin McGinley in the comments said, whether or not he wants to stay long-term is another question, but he reads into those comments as this is a guy who has identified Denver as a good spot for his development, his professional development. And I think that's cool, too, because it's certainly a different reputation in Denver now than it was just 5-6 years ago. A guy like RJ being excited to come. I mean, I think that's kind of new. That's a new dynamic.
Was he coached up to say like positive things or whatever? Maybe, sure. But here's the thing. I actually think he's just a guy that's really comfortable in his own skin. Like, I don't think he's a shy guy at all. And there's a lot of shy guys when it comes to media. There's a lot of people that
Like
are shy.
Bol Bol.
Bol. I mean, Jeremy Grant was one. Gary Harris is one. You know, there's a handful of guys on the roster that aren't that out.
You know who also wasn't one? PJ Dozier. PJ Dozier, so comfortable in his own skin.
Very confident.
Very
that was
composed.
my first. Yeah.
Very composed.
How about the confidence of RJ Hampton? This guy reminds me of a young Jamal. And you know what? It's not rubbing me the wrong way because I think Wynn nailed it. There is an
Rubbing the right
awareness. There's an awareness to him, I think, that shines through. But he believes in himself. I love that quote we got that. He's like, look, my dream was make it to the NBA, but it wasn't to be a regular dude in the NBA. I want to be great and I want to work for it. And look, whether or not he gets there, whatever. I just think it's really cool to hear a player with that talent sort of speak that way about himself in a sense that makes you believe in him too, you know?
The thing that's nice about RJ, and maybe because, like, let's be honest, Zeke Naji went ahead of him, might be a better prospect. We don't know. I mean, at this moment, you know, I think a lot of people think RJ has the higher upside. But the thing is that he fits a sort of vacant superstar position. I think for Denver, like, Denver looks at, okay, Murray and Jokic, already superstars at the 1 and the 5. Michael Porter Jr., we think, can be a superstar at the 3. So then you start to go, okay, what does 5 superstars look like? Well, okay, Bol Bol can be the 4, and RJ Hampton maybe the 2. So I think there's this little, like, mental game Nuggets fans where they place him maybe ahead of where he belongs.
He's going to be so dope. I cannot wait. Imagine, because he is... just his game, like, he's got, like, a very visually pleasing game.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that he's going to, like punish the rims every now and again. Like, very Zach Levine... or Levine or whatever. Who cares? Whatever.
And that's where that sort of like our eagerness to slot him as a star, as a fan base comes into play. I mean, his ceiling is that because athletically he is that. Like, he could be one of those guys where if he rounds out his skill sets, he can dominate certain games at the NBA level one day. That's possible. It's not a guy who, okay, hard ceiling on a role player, but he's going to be a great pick and drop, like catch and shoot. This is a guy who maybe if he hits his ceiling, can dominate.
I need you guys to figure out forensically, like, the story of draft night. Why they drafted Zeke Naji first, like what kind of intel they had that made those picks come in that order, and like what I'm so confused by it.
Well, I can tell you, do know a lot of players that are being taken.
I can tell you why they traded back in to get RJ Hampton.
Well, I know that, but like, why didn't they draft RJ first and then trade back to get Zeke Naji? Like, what was the intel they had?
Because they took Zeke Naji, and then if you look at the what team was picking behind them, I forget what team was picking behind him, but they were clearly like not a fit for RJ Hampton. So I think they knew Hampton was going to be there, and they had Hampton graded out as a late lottery talent on their board, and so like at 24. That value is just too good to pass up if that's your grade on him.
Absolutely.
Did you hear was the music playing and we just ignored the cue?
Yeah.
Okay.
There? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to break. When we come back, though, we should we hop into what the title of the show is, which is what are we most intrigued by in training camp? Lots to be intrigued by. Plenty to be intrigued.
Oh, Lance here says we're still not beating the Lakers. Appreciate that, Lance.
Preseason Nuggets podcast, Lance. Come on.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Guys, set your calendar, set your alarm clock, make a reminder on your phone, because this Friday we've got an insane Black Friday deal going on the DNVR.com. This deal,
drop some money.
Yeah, this deal is unreal. Like, I know I'm gonna be dropping a lot of money. I'm sure you guys are too.
Hoodies are in.
Oh, the hoodies.
The hoodies are in stock.
Yeah,
you guys can get up to 80% off the entire store. Yes, up to 80% off the entire store. That's DNVRLocker.com. And if you spend $75 pre-tax, we will also give you a $15 gift card that you can apply starting Tuesday, December 1st in the DNVR Locker. So, a couple incredible options. Like you guys were mentioning, we got the hoodies in. I think D-Line's getting them up here. We've got a camo option. We've got a zip-up option. They're both absolutely fire.
Share my screen, yo.
Yeah, let's see if we can get them up here. There they are.
So just to note here, these are embroidered. Look at that.
Ooh,
they're not just printed on
classy.
like some fly-by-night, like garbage level.
Yeah, the quality on these is unreal. Like the best quality we might have ever done on any of our like merchandise.
And contrary to my colleagues' opinions, Zippo hoodies not for women only. Big fan of the Zippo hoodie myself.
Dude. Listen, if you're a DNVR Nick like we all are, and you have a number of DNVR T-shirts, like this goes with it. It's like I've told people, like, I design shirts to be worn with jackets. It's like you see like a little graphic below it, and then, I mean, can you imagine looking as good as I do right now? But it's you at home. Imagine that.
Yeah, so you guys can pick these up from the DNVR Locker. Absolute fire. You can get up to 80% off the entire store on Black Friday. So set your alarm, do whatever you got to do to log on then. Also, if you're looking to go back to school, maybe you're looking to finish up your degree, check out MSU Denver online. You can see their entire course list at msudenver.edu/online. Great classes, great teachers. They've been teaching online forever. And, right now, online education is really the only option we have. So why wouldn't you go to the masters at teaching classes online? So check them out today, msudenver.edu/online.
All right, done with that ad read. All right, let's turn our attention now to training camp, because it doesn't feel like it, but it is exactly 1 week away. Next Wednesday, Nuggets will get together and begin their training camp and preseason portion of the season. And as I was going through this list, guys, we could start to compile a list of things we're interested in. I realized that this year, more than any of the last 4 or 5, I feel like has the most battlegrounds.
Definitely.
Position battleground. There's like more new faces. This training camp almost in many ways feels the most with the most moving parts, and it's on a shortened schedule. They have to get it done kind of quickly. So to kind of get into it here, this isn't necessarily in order, but if I were to put them in order, I think I do have a number one thing I'm most interested in, and tell me if you guys agree with this. It's Bol Bol. Like, I'm once again, he's such a mystery. Some of the other guys we know more about, but Bol Bol, I don't know. Is he out of the rotation? Is he in? I think he has a real chance. The way it's been told to me is he's going to have an opportunity to battle for, a role on this team. So, to me, it's no question. We saw a little glimpse of him in the bubble, and it was like straight adrenaline into the eyeballs. So I can't wait to see him again in training camp for preseason. That's my number one. What do you think, Wind?
Yeah, I agree. I've been hearing the same stuff. I've been hearing he's going to get a chance to compete for minutes at the backup 3 and 4. And I think his first chance is going to come very early in the regular season, because I think this is going to be a thing with the Nuggets. I think this is going to be a thing with teams throughout the league, especially contenders. They're not going to want to play their top guys in like their death lineups, heavy minutes at the very start of the season.
Sure.
So I could see, teams just kind of handing it over to their bench for more minutes, particularly in December, in January. And that's when I feel like Bol's really going to get a shot right at the beginning of the season. If he proves he can he can belong, I think he could stick in the rotation. But I'm with you, man. I think that's going to be like one of the top storylines to watch from day one, and I think he's going to get a shot early.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason it can't work with Bol Bol. I mean, he has gifts that no one else in the NBA can boast, like the fact that he can shoot as well as he can, and the fact that he can be 7'10" or whatever he is. I mean, that transfers. Like that's a transferable skill, being very, very tall. So he just needs the opportunity, and like now, like people have been cleared out in front of him. I just think that there's, we're going to see obviously rookie mistakes out of him, and we're going to get the same kind of like MPJ frustration where like maybe he's not in the right spot, and we get rage timeouts and things like that. But I mean, that he's definitely going to get on the court.
Will you be as frustrated if Bol is used like MPJ was last year? Will you be as frustrated?
I think Nuggets fans have to mentally prepare for that. Like,
I do too.
You should know for a fact, like, he's not going to get the heavy minutes you want him to play. It's going to be exactly like MPJ, and like just not make a thing out of it. Like this is just the methodology of Coach Michael Malone, and like you can get frustrated by it, or you can just know that that's what's coming.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing with the MPJ is it was like a hole on the team. Like, oh, this type of player, it would really help if he played. And there was room for him to play. Bullet's a little more of like, okay, you got to move some stuff around. Maybe he surprises you in the battle for backup wing minutes. But some of our commenters, I think, have sort of accurately framed this upcoming season as, look, it's probable that the playoff floor took a hit. And I think we could all see them maybe having just as good a season, but not squeaking out the 7-game win in the second round, maybe.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you necessarily take massive steps backwards in terms of organizational momentum or your belief in the team as a fan. And I think what that looks like is, okay, all right, there wasn't the linear improvement, but Bol Bol looked great this season. And it was a bit of a stretch, but next year he's ready. So maybe we're still on that same trajectory. It's just in the meantime there was a little speed bump.
And it does feel a little bit like, I mean, this is what happens sometimes when you have the fan glasses on too hard is you always start making excuses like next year don't worry, we're 1 year away or whatever. So it almost, this is the first time where I almost feel like that. But at the same time, Denver doesn't have to take a step back this year. It is possible that they are actually an even better team by the time they get to the playoffs. It doesn't necessarily look like that right now, but it's on the table. And if they can accomplish that and get Bol Bol there, this season will be an absolute A+ success. Speaking of MPJ, a fresh look at him. Apparently he's added weight. He's up to like 230 pounds according to his own scale.
I can't handle this, man. I'm too excited. Don't tell me this stuff.
So Michael Porter,
me and MPJ similar. That's amazing.
Think about how hyped
Putting
we
on
were.
weight.
So the 2 times Michael Porter has looked his best, like end of December, early January, when he hadn't played at all, he finally gets on the court, 100% fresh, super athletic looking, right? Then it kind of waned over time. He looked like he got worn down. Then he goes into the bubble, looks hyper athletic again. I think we're going to get hyper athletic, maybe the most athletic version of Michael Porter in this, a more confident one, and a team that's I have to imagine Michael Malone's like #1 goal coming into camp is to integrate Michael Porter. I mean, obviously defense and all that stuff, but I'm saying offensively, integrating Michael Porter into the framework and the fabric of Denver's offense. So I can't wait, guys. Like we have 14 days till a preseason game. That'll be our first look at both of those things. And for me, Michael Porter is right there next to Bol Bol at the top of this list.
It's so crazy. And we didn't get that like insane tease of Summer League this year, where you're right. That's which I actually like kind of appreciate. You don't have like 2 months lead up where you're like, I cannot wait to see what RJ Hampton and
Summer League is great for the team. It might be just like the absolute worst thing for for a fan base.
I know. And then you watch like 1 minute of Summer League, you're like, oh right, this is just the worst version of basketball.
I still love it. MPJ vote.
Dude, this is #1 on my list. And part of it is because there's not a lot of mystery for me. I think he's going to whip ass if he stays healthy. So, like, give it to me, man. 30 MPJ minutes a night. We've waited,
baby.
And it's time to find out. And if we're wrong on MPJ, I would also like to know that sooner rather than later.
Right.
So I'm just excited to watch this kid let it rip. And I would imagine, yes, there are reservations because he hasn't played major minutes and he has health. But with all the health concerns, with all the factors we've talked about, though, 72-game seasons, maybe the stars don't play as much, maybe they don't take on as big a load. I think we're going to see MPJ shooting a lot, and I am all the way here for it.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I was just gonna add a little seasoning to what Brendan said. Make it like I just can't wait, dude. This is going to be the MPJ Ascension season. It's absolutely. I mean, and we've seen it. It's no longer just fiction. We witnessed it happening in the bubble. He was second team all bubble, and that continued. I mean, that was every player was up and eligible for that distinction, and he got it because he was hitting 30. He was shooting the lights out.
Yeah, he was shooting like a ridiculous percentage.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
So, doesn't his Porter's rookie season remind you a little bit of Jokic's in that you're like, guys, I think this guy's awesome. Everybody looks at the numbers and is like, all right, well, why is he only playing 14 minutes a game? And let's see if he can do that once he's scouted, and let's see if and all this stuff. And you're like, I don't think it's that, guys. Like, I know there are players that are like that, where you're like, yeah, they have some weaknesses and they're sneaking by.
I love the scouted. They're like, we've discovered he's very tall and can get a shot off whenever he wants.
He's going to shoot it when you're right in his mouth. That's the scouting report.
It's right here. We scouted it.
So I'm curious to see if this second season follows Jokic's second season. Remember, Jokic had started off frustrating because he was doing the Twin Tower Balkan buddy ball thing. But once Jokic got the keys December 15th, the rest is history. And I wonder if we get that season from MPJ where it's like, oh, yeah, he was so obviously an awesome player. And now that he's playing a lot of minutes, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah. With both of those guys, the talent absolutely pops. You know, the talent popped with Jokic during his rookie year. MPJ pops every time he's on the floor. So you know the talent is real. I am super curious to see heading into training camp, how do the Nuggets frame what's going on at the small forward position? Is it an open competition between Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, and yeah, I guess that would really be it. But is it an open competition there? Do they give MPJ the job? How does that just kind of affect the dynamics there? Because I'm pretty sure MPJ is going to be starting at the 3 or the 4, most likely the 3. Just how does the coaching staff kind of approach that? Because there are some other dynamics at play there that I'm just going to be curious to see how they work out.
Yeah. The next thing I have on my list, so we have 2 really exciting ones. Here's a bummer one. COVID.
Sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
sick.
wow.
No,
Let's talk about COVID, guys.
I'm sorry, because honestly, we went through, with basketball, just like we have with real life, we've gone through the whole thing where it's like, so many people are just over it, you forget about it. But if you remember going into the bubble, Denver was missing 9 guys because of COVID. So I'm curious to see, not just with the Nuggets, but the whole NBA, do they all arrive ready to go and they're able to do that? Or do we get to training camp next week and it's like there's 6 guys, you know, like Whittington starting at point guard, and we're like, okay, well, maybe we're more than a week away from training camp, it turns out. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say on that. I don't want to dwell on it.
Do you want us to speculate how many players have COVID?
Yeah, let me
guess.
I'll guess by their names.
I would just say prepare yourself for guys to get it. I mean, guys are going to get it throughout the league, probably on the Nuggets. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen throughout the season. So just
this is
prepare
actually
yourself.
like a really interesting dynamic because we talked about this before, but the NBA with establishing the bubble, like really put themselves at like the highest level of ethics and morality in the world of sports. We were able to like look down and cast aspersions upon the MLB and the NFL. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Just trying these play every week. There's another guy, and now the NBA is going to be riddled with COVID as they go from city to city. So we're definitely going to see if they're able to maintain their sheen.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah, that's true.
Will Barton's health is a big one to me. We just don't know. He's starting to post more and more stuff on his social accounts of him actually in the gym and doing different things. But if he's not ready to go at the start of the season, I do feel like that changes a lot of dynamics, especially early on.
Big time.
So I'm kind of curious about that one.
Man, it would be really great if someone could just come out and be like, oh, no, he's healthy. Like, with each day that confirmation doesn't come, it gets a little... and look, you don't want to... We have a certain responsibility here. We wouldn't stir a pot or report on something we don't know. It's just... It's a real question. It's a real question when the last time a guy played was March, when there's not a lot of information about what the injury is, and when you would assume to this point in this year with the way things have gone, I don't think Barton's... Has he been back in Denver? I haven't seen him spending a lot of time here on social media, so... You just have to wonder, like...
You've been blocked, just FYI.
Do we know about Barton? Does the team know about Barton? I think these are real concerns. And if he can't go, maybe the Campazzo signing makes a little bit more sense. Unless you're looking at Barton as a wing. You're like, who's the backup wing if he can't go? Is it PJ?
It's PJ,
So
maybe.
there's just a chain reaction of questions, I think, that follow. And it's something I've got my eye on for sure.
And that's the thing, is somebody put here a concern about it. Well, first of all, I do think a healthy Will Barton makes the Nuggets better.
Dude.
I do. I mean, I can't get on board
Will
with that.
Barton is so much better than people give him credit for.
Right, and he's playing the 3. You know, he's been out of position a lot. But here's the one thing I'll say is, it might make it easier for Malone if he is out like early on to establish a little bit of a rotation that he can slot back into. I mean, I do worry if he's back, does Michael Porter have to like beat him for a position battle? Does that make it awkward? It would sure make it a lot easier if Michael Porter was awarded that by virtue of there not being a competition, and then like when Barton comes back, it's just like, well, we're comfortable with where we are with the team or something like that. I just think it might be weird in camp if they're...
Well, and here's like another storyline that I haven't really heard talked about, but is absolutely the truth. Like, we're talking about how the Nuggets didn't improve. They maybe even took a step back. We didn't re-sign Jeremy Grant, but like during that entire bubble run, we didn't have Will Barton.
Right.
We're adding Will Barton to the mix of essentially all the same guys that were just able to do it at that high level. Like, the Nuggets I mean, you can essentially consider him a free agent signing in a sense. Like
the Nuggets on the front office of the coaching staff really does think they like last year they win it with Will Barton. I know like a lot of fans maybe or especially fans of other teams don't think it, but internally they really believe that.
I'll tell you this, man. Not all stars that give you 16, 5, and 4. Right. There's like what 2 of those guys, 3 of those guys in the world. So
the other thing about Barton is. Really, until Jamal kind of took control of this team after kind of that pause and he had like all those emotional moments and the post-game interview, this team was kind of lacking a voice in the bubble. And like Will Barton is kind of the pulse of this team behind the scenes. So I think without him, you know, maybe they just don't need that anymore after Jamal's kind of ascended and, you know, they just kind of had the success they did last year. Maybe they don't need his voice as much as they did last year, but that was definitely something that was missing from this team early in that first round against the Jazz.
They could use his buckets.
That they could always use, I think, yeah.
And to address this comment from Ray Vaughn, which I think is a good one, I mean, like Barton has put an emphasis on battling on the glass, really D'ing up on guys that you just mentioned are 20, 30 pounds heavier than him sometimes. Yeah. And it might have had a real impact on his health, but I think Oscar Fang, commenter, also nailed it. They kind of have to. Like, who are the other wings on the team?
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
That is the
Greg
problem.
Whittington, some of you are screaming into your computers. We'll find out.
I know, we will find out. I do want to keep it moving here, though. Battlegrounds, this is the thing that I think is also extremely interesting here. So, Michael Porter Jr., we just all have like penciled him in as the starting small forward, but I don't know if Malone has, and I'm really curious to see how he handles that. If he comes into camp and says, yeah, there's an open small forward battle, or if it's like just not discussed and it's kind of implied that Porter will be there, because we've all mentally moved on, and it would be so Nuggets and so Malone for it to be like, Porter's coming off the bench again. It's like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Which future theoretical Twitter-based argument are you least excited to engage in? Is it fighting with Comcast because the games are not shown? Is it fighting about Michael Porter Jr.'s usage and his minutes? Like, there's a few out there.
It's going to be very easy for the Nuggets to play up a small forward competition, even if there isn't one this year, because like there's no media at training camp. We're not going to be there. It's going to be everything, you know, behind the scenes. But if the competition is between Michael Porter Jr., a less than 100% Will Barton, Greg Whittington, and Bol Bol, it's like, what are we doing? Is this really a competition? Like, what is this?
Who do we think is going to win the competition?
Yeah. But they can't still frame it as that because it's going to be, like, behind closed doors. The media's not going to be there. We're not going to be able to, like get the face-to-face interaction we would normally with these guys. So they can still play that up if they want.
Especially because last time they did it, then we asked Will Barton about the open competition at small forward, and he had heard nothing about it. It's going to be a lot easier to feed us stuff like that.
What if Bol Bol is our starting 3 at the beginning?
Look, man, this I don't think is likely, and I still think PJ makes more sense if Barton can't go, but there's absolutely a path to Bol winning backup wing minutes this season. It's just on the table.
For sure. I'm saying, like, what if we start the season with Jokic and Bol Bol and just, like, some weird combination of players we never even considered, PJ Dozier at the 2. Like,
I think Ray brought up a really good point there, because if you think back to all these competitions, even going back to the Jamal Murray, Emmanuel Mudiay, Jameer Nelson competition, and like thinking back last year to the small forward competition, these are all competitions in sense, but there's always a leader in the clubhouse. Right. There's always a guy that the coaches in the front office want to win that competition in the end. And that guy always has a leg up going into this thing. So I think this is going to be MPJ's job to lose. You know, he can lose it. He definitely can lose it during training camp and the preseason by just like not giving a shit, like not passing. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll win the job, but it's definitely going to be his to lose, in my opinion.
Look, the reality is, and I would wager even Malone kind of has this perspective at this point. When you lose a guy like Grant, the playoff floor takes a hit. How can you make up for that? I mean, how does the ceiling grow? MPJ's playing 30 minutes a game by the end of the season. We all know it. I think it's their only path to being a team that's somehow any better than they were last year. So I think it'll happen. If you guys may have noticed that as Lesbian Duck, my friend, just pointed out in the comments, loving the podcast with no Adam so far. Adam just briefly dipped out. He's going to do... it's hard to say. He has so many other prior commitments. Could it be one of the Locked On podcasts he does without us? A radio show? I mean, it could be anything.
He's just probably spending time with friends and family.
Ugh, what a loser. So we're going to fill in this gap.
Can I talk about Greg Whittington real quick?
Sure,
because I know we got a lot
not?
of people in the comments wanting to talk about Greg
And
Whittington.
also, like anybody, this should be a lesson for you. If you want to make Brendan read your name, however embarrassing it might be, he'll do it. Like if you just give yourself a screen name that is like Lesbian Duck, for example, he'll just read it right out.
I'm strangely eager to say it.
So if you just change your name to something off-putting, he'll do it. He'll read it.
So everybody's wondering how Greg Whittington's going to factor into this thing. I actually think he's going to have a chance to play. He's been described to me by people with the team as kind of like a mix or a proxy between Jeremy Grant and Torrey Craig. And those are two guys who are no longer on this roster. And
Right.
Denver doesn't have a player that really resembles any one of those guys still on the roster. Greg Whittington's the closest thing to that. And just kind of reading the tea leaves and talking to people around Greg Whittington, he had other offers from teams.
Yep.
He had other big-time EuroLeague offers. People wanted him. And he came to Denver in the end partly because the Nuggets lost Jeremy Grant and Torrey Craig. So I think he came to Denver thinking he was kind of going to get a chance because Denver just doesn't have that guy on the wing who can defend, who kind of has the skill set that he does.
It's the same thing with Campazzo, right? Like he had other options, and the fact that these guys are not only talking to but making the decision to come play for the Denver Nuggets in a non-guaranteed role, like where they're going to have to be able to prove themselves to hit the court. Like I got to think those conversations with them and with their representation have been such that like these guys have a real opportunity to get real minutes and really fight for it.
I was going to say, we've sort of done this exercise with like, to this point in the pod over the last few weeks with guys we knew would be on the team. And we got to this point where you go, okay, if Thrill is the backup three and he can't go, then you're looking at either stretching a guard in PJ, or maybe some people consider him a big in Bol, sort of like an imperfect fit. Whittington is that answer. If you're going, who is the actual wing type guy on this team? It's him. And so he is absolutely going to go into that training camp, which with I think of a chance of winning backup wing minutes, or at the very least earning some spot backup wing minutes here and there throughout the season.
I mean, Torrey Craig had no business earning minutes on this team, and he came in exactly the same fashion that Greg Whittington is coming in. Like, I can see I see a very clear path to him making an impact.
I mean, the Craig thing, like I think at the start of the offseason, we had all sort of seen a type of offseason where if Craig leaves, you're probably okay with that because, you know, Malone's propensity to play him over certain guys, the way some of those Jokic lineups work out. But then not bringing Greg back after the Grant decision is curious. It's really curious. So I think that's what the Greg Whittington signing is about. He's got a chance.
I mean, that's the answer.
It's super curious because the Nuggets could have brought Torrey Craig back. They could have afforded to bring him back, but they didn't. They chose to address their need at backup center instead and kind of elevate Bol, and there just wasn't that roster spot for Torrey Craig. So they could have brought him back.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Hartenstein, the heart and soul of the team.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about backup center.
Talk us into Isaiah Hardenstein.
So I think the Nuggets learned their lesson at backup center in the sense that it's not worth overpaying for a backup center because they had Mason Plumlee on this mega contract for a backup center of these last couple of years. And look, Mason Plumlee is a fine backup center. He was definitely overpaid at his number, but you know he was a fine backup center. Isaiah Hartenstein's on a minimum deal. You know, and I think he can definitely give the Nuggets actually similar production to Mason Plumlee did, to what Mason Plumlee did. I don't think there's going to be a huge drop-off there. So Isaiah Hardenstein, man, he is kind of like a modern-day backup center in the sense that he's super versatile offensively. He's on a cheap deal. That makes him a modern-day backup center. But also, he's athletic. I think he's going to be able to shoot threes. He can score. He can pass a little. He can get up and down the floor. I think people are going to be really, really like surprised, but also excited about Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think he's a good signing.
What's his major skill set? I've not done any research on him. Can he shoot? Is he just like a defensive guy? Like what's his deal?
I think he's more of an offensive first guy, actually.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. He's athletic. He can get up and down the floor. He can finish. And I think he's going to be able to shoot as well. He didn't like shoot super efficiently with the Rockets last year, but he didn't really get a chance. And I think I rattled off this stat on a show earlier this earlier this week, but he actually really produced whenever he got consistent minutes. Yeah, that's a good comment from Adam. He's a slasher. He's just kind of like a versatile offensive guy. So, I mean, I don't know like how many minutes he's going to get in a rotation night to night. I think ideally the Nuggets' top three bigs are Jokic, Paul Millsap, and JaMychal Green. And JaMychal Green and Paul Millsap can play the five. Like, those guys can play the five on a backup bench unit. So you could see a lot of rotation there. But Isaiah Hardenstein could get, 10 minutes a night. I could see that.
Doesn't it seem like this front office has, whether this was like wittingly or not, assembled or really leaned into the all offensive thing? There's a lot of guys who I think you would describe them more as offensive players than defensive on this team. My first question with Hartenstein, because I see this comment here, you talk to a lot of people who maybe call themselves scouts or talk to scouts or really just been following Hartenstein. They're very high on him and his skill set. So then my question is, why was he available? Why didn't he play so much at the NBA? I know he's young, but then you see that he was on the Houston Rockets. So is it part of the case, Harrison, that maybe just wasn't a great fit there, and that they were just trying to shoot threes, maybe not really playing centers a ton, and so in a different environment, maybe he's got more to open up and more to showcase?
Definitely. And here's the stat I was talking about. When he's played over 20 minutes in his career, Hartenstein's averaged 13 points and 9 rebounds. So, he produces on the offensive end, especially when he's gotten those minutes. But, yeah, he was on a Rockets team that, made it illegal to play anybody over 6'9" last year.
Right.
Isn't that hilarious? To look at anytime you get someone from the Rockets, you're like, do they still know how to play NBA basketball? Are they so broken by this weird system that's been created in Houston that they can no longer be reintroduced into a normal NBA lineup?
Another wrinkle to Hardenstein is he actually played on the same G League team as Monte Morris did in
let's go
2017. Maybe there's a little chemistry there on that second unit. But I do think that maybe if Paul Millsap doesn't start, I wonder if Paul Millsap's the primary backup center.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be the
So many questions. I can't wait. 10 days, we get all our answers. Now I'm sure we're going to be angry and frustrated about all of them.
All right, we've got a couple more training camp storylines to tackle, but I think Morris is planning on coming back. So, guys, if we can squeeze it in, let's do a little speed draft here. It's our last show of the offseason.
Should we hit a break first?
That's a good break first. We're never going to do this draft. Let's do the break.
Yeah, just to be clear, we're drafting Thanksgiving foods, and we have to do it without Mares, who's a noted Thanksgiving hater, would ruin everybody's fun and would make terrible comments the whole time.
All right, we'll have the Thanksgiving draft in 1 second. First, though, maybe you could insert Strava Craft coffee into your Thanksgiving Day spread. I mean, maybe think about it. You guys can subscribe now and save 20% with a Strava Craft coffee subscription. Get your coffee delivered every 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 weeks, and 20% off any product you are subscribing to with Strava Craft coffee. It's packed with CBD, which is known to help cure long-term migraines, back pain, arthritis, IBS, and you get a lot of that in Strava Craft coffee. So check them out today. Also, let's hit a pick of the week before I forget about it and Lindsay comes down on me for not remembering.
What is your pick of the week?
All right, so if you guys go on to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, they have all these crazy odds boosts, and it's just under the odds boost tab. It's super easy to find, but I don't know how great of a pick these are, but the odds are so ridiculous that they're just impossible to pass up in case they do hit. Just, throw $5 on this bet. I'm not asking you to, throw your mortgage on it. Just throw a couple bucks on it. Michigan State, Michigan, and Kentucky all to win by 20-plus points you get plus 830 odds. So you can throw $5 on this and win $46. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying this bet's gonna cash, but I think it's worth to just throw $5 in there. So that's my DraftKings pick of the week: Michigan State, Michigan, and Kentucky, all to win by 20 points, plus 830 odds.
Can I tell you a guaranteed winner? Guaranteed winner is Taysom Hill, the quarterback of the Saints, to score a touchdown.
That's it?
Yeah. That meaning him to run it in versus to throw it.
Okay.
Taysom Hill, I gave this out as my prop bet when I was on the tailgate, and of course it hit. Like, that guy, if you get anywhere near, and also they're playing the Broncos, so we'll see. We'll be able to see this like live in our faces if you want to like be able to feel good about being decimated on national television as a Broncos fan. Bet Taysom Hill to score a touchdown. That prop is going to be a lock.
Free money from the guys at DNVR Nuggets. All right, fellas, let's do it. A little speed round, a little quick impromptu draft here. Who won the last draft we did? Was it Eric? I don't like that.
No, was the last? We did States. Oh, yeah.
Very controversial. We apologize to everyone we offended.
I thought we were supposed to go in reverse order, like States, like Brendan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Perfect. We'll go right to left. Very intuitive. With the first pick of the 2020 DNVR Nuggets Thanksgiving food draft, Brendan Vogt selects stuffing. The top side,
dude.
The best food that there is.
So, Flo Sibber, so you understand, Thanksgiving is an American holiday whereby we all just stuff our faces with the same food every year, and some people are not happy with that food. But
people are going to be very confused by the draft order here. I can already tell this is going to like
the right to left draft order.
Well, we're going to
set the internet on fire. Oh, there we go. There we go.
They're finally.
We'll do it live.
Finally, some professional work being done here.
I also like this Thanksgiving draft for a predominantly European audience that couldn't care less. All right, you're up, Dylan & Co.
Whoo! So, turkey, always very underrated. People love to hate on turkey. It's very in fashion. People love to say that it's not good. And I'm going to have to listen because we're being voted on by the people. So I, with the second pick in the DNVR Thanksgiving Day draft, will select mashed potatoes and gravy. Let's go.
That's a good pick.
Go.
Good pick.
Yes.
Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with snake drafts, Harrison Wind bringing up the rear. He gets 2
like
picks.
we shouldn't do like I don't even think there are
3. We should do 3.
Yeah, 3 rounds. Feels
just a big 3. Okay, we're gonna have to talk through this pick because I don't know how specific I have to get. Can I just go pie?
You got to go specific.
No, you got to pick a pie. Get out of here.
You got to pick a pie, dude. You can't just say pie.
Yeah, can I have LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade, or do I have to pick one?
Oh, man. Okay.
Pick a pie, bro. Pick a pie.
Well, I might not go pie now.
You can't have every pie you want. No pie.
All right. Well, I guess for my number 3 overall pick.
How are you unprepared for your first round pick? That's the real question.
Because honestly, I wasn't expecting the draft.
This draft is going to be a mess.
All right, I'm gonna go pie. This might be a bust, but I'm gonna go apple pie.
Oh,
that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yo, I got to tell you, like, pumpkin pie is a pretty big draw around these times. But okay, listen.
I think more people like apple, but that might be a controversial thing.
I prefer apple wholeheartedly, but you understand we're playing to the people here. Like, we don't get to decide who wins. It's not up to us.
Wind, you got another pick, brother.
All right. I'm gonna stand up for the main course of Thanksgiving.
No.
I think it's good. I think it's good value in round 2.
Here's food at number 3.
I'm going turkey.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You know what, though? I trust the voters to irresponsibly ignore your choice of a main dish.
Turkey at number 4 overall is good value. I've been seeing the hate on turkey all week on Twitter. My response to those people, you've never had a good turkey if you think turkey is this overrated.
Big L for turkey. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to...
What's the turkey substitute? Is it ham?
Yeah. With the 1, 2, 3, 4, with the 5th pick in the 2020 Thanksgiving Day food draft, I will select Honey baked ham.
Wow. I
That's
can't
right.
believe it took that long for honey baked ham to come out.
Oh, Adam, are you here?
I'm back.
Are you done recording with Matt Moore, Anthony Irwin? Who are all the other people you work
Yeah, we don't
with?
want to hear your takes. You're a silent observer of this draft.
Stuffing number one's a weird call, but all right.
Just shut up, Adam. Beat it.
Oh, get out of here, bro. Jason's Deli.
Wet bread.
Wet bread.
Sweetest
I get 2 picks. With my second pick in the 2020 DNVR Nuggets Thanksgiving food draft, Brennan Vogt selects cornbread, underrated side. Put it on the board.
Wow, cornbread.
Solid side dish.
And I will wrap this sucker up. This is not an appeal to the voters. This is my favorite dessert, pumpkin pie. If you think it's bad, you're overthinking it because it's not.
I don't think it's good.
Apple pie first. Wow.
Dude, apple pie is GD delicious.
I tried just to take all pies number 3, and they didn't let me.
We did shoot that down, yeah, believe it or
Oh
not.
boy, I find myself in a very precarious position.
You have a chance. You can do it.
Things
Pull it off.
I just pulled up my big board. A lot of risers, a lot of fallers. Apple pie shot up the boards in a way that people weren't expecting, going by perennial favorites like cranberry sauce, green bean casserole,
Cranberry sauce, something everybody has at Thanksgiving, but just sucks.
dinner rolls. Dinner rolls different than cornbread. Oh my god!
It's true. It is.
You know what?
Mac and cheese still on the board?
You know what I'm going to go for? Because it's not explicitly mentioned. I will with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With the 8th selection in the 2020 DNVR Thanksgiving Day Draft, I will take explicitly gravy. Gravy as a pick. Let's go. Come on.
Explicitly gravy.
The air horn for gravy.
Oh, man.
Gravy.
Well, all right. With my 3rd overall pick, people are going to be talking about this pick for weeks already now. I don't know how it's still on the board. Maybe the best food served at any Thanksgiving dinner, mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yo, we got to go one more round. There's still a few.
I got my ass kicked.
There's still a few big ones back in there. But we got to snake it. We got to snake it. We got to snake it.
Snake one more time. All
Snake
right.
it one more time.
Look, man.
All right.
I'm not doing anything else.
Okay.
Gravy's a great glue guy. It's true. Gravy goes with like
Gravy's
all
a
of those
great
foods.
glue guy.
Gravy is good.
I can't believe you just took gravy. It's like over fantasy drafting basketball players. I will take the basketball.
Yeah. You know what I'll select next? Not salad. Salad dressing.
Where are you going? See, this is my point. They're already out of foods that people
Oh,
like.
quiet you, Adam. Pipe down. Get him out of here.
Cranberry
Win.
sauce gonna have to be taken.
Come on, Win. What
Yeah,
do you
like,
got?
do I have to take cranberry sauce?
No, you
here?
don't. You don't have to take anything you don't want. It's
I
just
could
like
take
Thanksgiving
sweet
dinner itself.
potatoes. I could take green bean
could.
casserole.
Green bean casserole.
There's a lot on there.
I could take another pie. I am gonna take biscuits.
Biscuits! Wow!
Yeah.
No, biscuits. Listen. I'll stand for biscuits. Biscuits.
Is biscuit? Do you eat biscuits with Thanksgiving? Are you talking about rolls?
Cornbread
Listen.
over biscuits.
Yeah,
I'm-
biscuits,
no.
rolls,
Dinner
same,
rolls.
same thing,
Biscuit,
same
a
difference.
biscuit is not the same as a roll. I'm sorry. I guess. All right. It's all right. It's not my draft.
Oh, it's certainly not your draft. That much is clear.
All right.
All right. With my pick in the 2020 Thanksgiving Day Draft.
That was the drum roll. Was that for that? Yeah.
Well, it's my fault, Guy. I'm not a slave to Guy's
Make your
timing.
pick, nerd.
You have by far the best team so far. So if you
I will select.
stick the landing.
Oh God. Corn. I will take corn.
Hey, you know what? All right.
I will take corn.
Feels like a lie-in pick, but you didn't take him in the first, so I won't trash you for it.
A little corn, like corn on the cob. Is this corn just like from a can of corn?
You know what? You can interpret that however. The best version of corn that you ever
best
get at
version of
Thanksgiving
corn.
is what
Can I take leftovers at
Mexican
4 or
street
no?
corn.
So I have to pick a food.
You have to
You
pick
have
a
to figure one out.
Mexican street corn is like a top 3 food potentially.
I love nothing better than when Wynn's Mike does that.
What? What was that?
It's been a while since Harrison Mike
That was the most harrowing moment of my life. What on earth?
Did my mic do the thing where it dropped like 5 octaves?
Yeah. And it got all slow. It's like The Exorcist.
No.
Okay. I'll just take my L and get this thing over with. I'll take sweet potatoes. Put it on.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Sweet
Dude,
potatoes actually
cranberries.
great. How is that not out there? Sweet potatoes, that was, you did a
The
great
wind
job.
gust.
Wow.
What I was saying is Mexican street corn is like a top 3 food ever.
Dude, Mexican streets. That's fantastic.
It's like incredible.
I think,
Oh man, I kind of want my lineup right now. Look at
I
that,
think
delicious.
Eric really did. The first 3 are great. Corn, just like his garnish, but you did great in the first 3.
Hey, guy,
I'm still
take that
awarding
goddamn
Harrison number
question
1.
mark off.
Harrison wins because only one of these foods is even remotely tolerable, and that's mac and cheese. All the other two
See,
foods,
listen. Oh, great.
terrible.
Let's have Adam weigh in on this. Hey, this is like having the draft, and then we'll have like someone who never watches the NBA weigh in. Well, how do you think the Nuggets did? A guy who hates the NBA.
They should have traded for Kawhi in the draft.
I just gotta say, if we're looking for a well-rounded meal, I've got the main star. I got the alpha in turkey. I got a great secondary option of mac and cheese, a side dish in biscuits, and then a dessert in apple pie. Boom!
You know what? You might have sold me.
Hang on, though. Hang on. I feel like I'm the Kawhi-less Toronto Raptors. There's a lot of playable role players on that team, but I am lacking my heavy hitter.
Yeah, you don't have you don't have an anchor for this team.
All right. Well, listen. I just want to thank everyone for rocking with us in these off-season pods. Been a really, really cool thing for us. This has been way more fun than we imagined it when we started doing this. It's not just when you watch, it's when you comment, when you like the video, when you share the video. We're building something special here, and emphasis on the we. It's not the 4 of us, it's all of us. We appreciate you. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and go Denver Nuggets.
Let's go.
Those foods are terrible.
You suck. I'm so thankful this is the last show we're going to do it for a while. That's my Thanksgiving.